social distancing on stage, not on the floor.
Okay.
Anyway, wait. And is it working? It's not even working. Mr. Audition. Oh, wait. No. Wait, let's not stress out your vocal cords. Wait. Testing. Oh, there we go.
Is it working now? Okay.
Oh, it is working now. Yes! Hi! It's them! They're here!
Love you, hi!
Excuse me, daanan na po
Alright,
tao.
so
Wala na
just so
madadaanan.
you guys know, we're gonna be talking to Anne and Ratana about your journey of being voice actors. We're also gonna discuss some of your iconic works. But before we get to that, I wanna say, how are you? How was Conquest? How was the Philippines? You guys are Filipinas, so I won't ask you how being a Filipina is. But how's here being in the Philippines at Conquest? Sway.
My pores have never been clearer. I'm glowing.
What they meant is that Filipinos and Filipinas are hot.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so here are a few questions that I've gathered from the crowd. Some more asking for this one. How do you go to the creative process and choosing the voice for your characters? So let's start with you, Anne. Let's not think of a character like the director says, oh, here's an image, this is how she looks like. How do you get to the creative process and thinking, oh, this will fit her?
Sure. So, okay, yeah. Usually you get like auditions. Sometimes you get an image. Sometimes you just get description. Sometimes you get like a full scene. Sometimes you just get 5 random sentences with like a descriptive word next to them, like serious,
Yes.
happy, laughing. And so you kind of have to do a lot of the acting background, like the acting homework.
We have to do a lot of sleuthing.
Yeah, we have to deduce, like, okay, what is this character really doing? What are they really saying? And you have to make choices, right? You have to pretend that you already know what it is, because you don't, and they don't want to tell you everything. So you just gotta make a choice and say, okay, well, I think for this line, we're talking to, this girl is talking to her boyfriend, okay? And then the next line, she's talking to her parents. So you're creating the backstory for this character, plus you have a visual, plus you have some, like, descriptive words they gave you, and then I kind of just go through my Rolodex of like voice types I have, and then see what fits. I play around a little bit, and then whatever works best for me in that moment is the one I pick for my audition.
Oh wow, that's how you did. Random. Same question for you. How do you get into the creative process of choosing the voice?
I mean, it's very similar to Anne's process. We are honestly asked to make some choices and to infer things based on what we read on the page. So we learn to read between the lines as much as we read the lines.
Yeah. So it's more like creating this image in your head that, oh hey, this is how I feel the character should be.
This is how she feels in my body,
Yeah.
which might be different than how it feels from Anne. And then we just throw it out there. And somebody asked yesterday about Genshin, and like we both auditioned for each other's parts.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
In an AU, we could either not be in it, or we could be each other.
Yeah.
So you just don't know.
You'll never know. So here's a question. How did you get into voice acting? What inspired you before? Let's start with your Ratana. How did you get into voice acting?
How many of you like cartoons?
I do.
Anime, cartoons, yeah. That's how I got in. And believe it or not, growing up in Detroit, Michigan, which is like a middle state in the US, I did not know the drawings have humans that say things behind them. And eventually somebody clued me in and I said, oh, and that's a job? That is a thing I can do?
They pay you to do that.
Okay, I want this. How do I do this? So that's how I got into voice acting.
So let me get this clear. You never knew that there was money in voice acting before.
I did not know humans did this. Like, I just thought the drawings talked for themselves, like magical realism. And then, eventually I found out there are actors who do this job. And like many of you, I have Filipino parents.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to do something stable, and so I did something else for a really long time. And then I had friends who were pursuing voice acting, and so they introduced me to classes and teachers and mentors, and
that's where
that was the beginning of the snowball rolling downhill.
You're rolling downhill, maybe uphill. let's turn this into the Okay, and same question for you. How did you get into voice acting?
So when I was a kid, I saw Disney's The Little Mermaid. And yes. And I wanted to be a mermaid. And then I found out that's not a real thing. So then I was like, oh, I want to be a Disney princess. And then I had to realize, oh, I have to figure out how to become the voice of a Disney princess. Side note, then I found out that Lea Salonga was the singing voice of two Disney princesses. And I was like, can I be Lea Salonga? I can't, I'm still working on that. But, that was, a really small germ when I was a child, right? Yeah. And then I, went through school. My parents wanted me to be a doctor. I was pre-med. I have a degree in biomedical engineering.
She's smart, yo.
A degree.
I have a bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering from Marquette University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Good Jesuit University, thank you very much.
Wow.
Graduated cum laude, thank you.
Oh my god, you guys, she's so smart.
She's so smart.
But I was taking singing lessons from an early age. I did a lot of karaoke with my family because we're Filipino. I took piano lessons. I was in school plays. I was in the musical. When I was at Marquette getting my bachelor's degree, I spent every waking moment that I wasn't in the engineering building in the theater, taking classes, doing shows, starring in shows. And my mentors told me I should go audition for grad school. And I thought, really? I thought I was going to go to med school. But they said, just try it. So I did. And I got into Cal Arts. So I went to the California Institute of the Arts in Valencia, California, which is famous for its innovation school.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So auditions were kind of closer there.
Yeah, we're getting closer, right? Right.
Closer over there. Okay.
And then while I was there, I got to learn a little bit about voiceover, got to know a few animators, did some small little things, and got my feet wet. And that's when I got excited about it. And then I decided after I graduated with my MFA that I needed to pay bills. So I had a day job as a forensic scientist for 7 years while I took classes and pursued voiceover. So it was a really long journey that eventually landed with me quitting my job, getting an agent, and then booking Jujutsu Kaisen and Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Easy for these women because they're great. I'm envy you guys. But anyway, we are also going to be entertaining questions from the crowd. So as a sample, let's get one. Raise your right hand. If yes, you, the one in the checkered jacket, over the microphone, you can ask your questions here. We'll take more later, but we'll do something after this question. Right, go ahead. What's your name? Mia. Leah. All right, there we go. Leah, your question, please.
I'm an aspiring voice actor.
Hey.
I just want some tips to, improve and,
Tips, right? Tips on becoming a voice actor. Is that right? How to improve. Yeah, there you go. So, you guys, whoever goes first, random?
Sure. The biggest tip I can give you, read out loud every day. Read out loud every day. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be the text messages on your phone. It could be a book. It could be the words in your favorite manga. Just read out loud every day.
Because honestly, cold reading is one of the most important skills an actor and importantly a voice actor can have, which is the ability to be given a script and be able to just to quickly make the acting choices and act it out on the first try. Without making mistakes.
Yes, because fun fact, for Genshin, neither of us got the script ahead of time.
Nope.
We went into a booth, they flash it up on the screen, and we say the things they tell us to say. So you have to be able to make a choice very quickly, and the best thing to do, so you don't have to worry about the words coming out of your mouth, is to do your basics, your push-ups, your sit-ups, and that's reading out loud every day.
Yeah, the other one is acting classes. Take those acting classes, because acting classes is going to be your repetitions, learning how to make those quick choices.
And I will tell you this too, because we hear this a lot in California. If your budget is an issue, take an improv class. Because if you are working a day job, Improv is fantastic. Nobody gives you a script in real life. This helps you with brainstorming. This helps you in meetings. This helps you to speak extemporaneously on your own, to give speeches on the fly. And it teaches you to trust your gut.
Alright, so there we go. So here, Leia, they said read out loud. So can you do us a solid? Could you read the one on the LED screen as a practice? Read that for us.
Community question.
Oh, read out loud.
Read out
Louder. Enunciate.
Community question.
There you go.
The other line. There's one more.
Just ask.
Everybody give her a hand.
So I think that's one way to do it right now. We are discussing on how to be like voice actors. Let's go to the journey of when you got into voice acting. We have some clips here and pictures of your
Oh my
iconic
God.
words.
They have taken
So yeah, it's on the screen. Let's start here with Anne.
Oh, okay.
And we have one here. From Jujutsu Kaisen Nobara Kugisaki. So give us a story of how you got this role, how you chose her voice.
So, okay, this was an audition that came directly to me and not actually through my agency. I had only worked with that studio once before, and it was the second season of a live-action dub that, like, Studiopolis picked up randomly. I was like, okay, but I ended up on their mailing list. And so I got this audition, and I was like, oh, I have never heard of this manga. Let me do the Wikipedia search. Look at, read about it a little bit. I was like, oh, are there any episodes out? At that time, there were 3 episodes out, which is perfect because episode 3 is her big debut. She trots out episode 3, and I'm like, dang it, she's so cool. Oh, I gotta get this. I gotta get this role. You dream about it, but like you never get it, whatever. And then I forgot to do the audition until the day it was due.
That never happens.
So I literally put it together in like, I don't know, 30 minutes. I was like, oh no, I'm never gonna get this role. But I think because I had already done the homework, and I'd already like looked through the lines, made choices, I just didn't actually do the audition. I kind of marinated it. That's another thing, is like, sometimes you gotta just like walk away and then come back to it, I think, and it kind of like sits in your body, percolates, and then it I don't know, and then it comes out that.
Can you do us a solid? Can you give us like one line from Nobara Kugisaki of one of your things?
Straw doll technique, resonance.
I love how you just control your microphone and got that resonance thing. Is that like how'd you get to practice that with modulation and all of that, and like screaming parts? How'd you get into that practice?
No, I really like doing efforts. Like, I think they're so fun.
They are.
And the thing about efforts is like, it's about the imagination of like, so when I see the footage, in the first episode that she's in, like, she has the hammer, and then like she drives it in as she does her battle line, and for me, having to do it in English, the inflection is going to be different. I had to think about like, oh, okay, resonance, the emphasis on the first syllable. Okay, how do you like emphasize this idea? Like she's driving the nail home, so then I was like, if I put a little growl in it, then that's kind of like, that's the moment of the attack. So it's making choices that I think help tell the story of like what's happening in the moment.
All right, so there we go, choices of happening at the moment. All right, so here's another work from you, Anne. It's from Genshin Impact.
Just a little game.
Raiden Shogun. I'm gonna show it on screen.
Oh, okay.
Centuries pass without change. Deep in the heart of the city stands the master of Raiden Shogun. She looks down upon her realm, immortal joys and woes. Like mighty lightning, she rules over the transients. Trivial yearning and petty passion. They vanish like a mist when the Shogun pursues, unfettered and unperturbed eternally. Only through eternity are you closest to the heaven that
that we didn't record the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I only saw dialogue when I was recording this one, so I never saw any of this until it dropped in the special program or whatever.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that's sick. Oh.
Yeah.
But okay, your question was about how I got to the voice. I'm sorry, I just said.
I don't want to ask you anymore. I'm just too stunned. You guys are amazing. But yes, how did you get into?
Okay, so
Exciting.
here's my thinking about Raiden Shogun. So like Raiden Shogun, there's two parts to her, right? There's the puppet, and then there is the real. There's A. So with Shogun, the one direction I kept getting was like she's not a robot. She's not a robot. Okay, so she's cold. She is regal. She is authoritative. She's hard, but she's not a robot. So that means she does have feelings. She does have emotions. She does have real reactions. So it was threading that line of like being very cold and detached, but not robotic. That's nice. And then with A, kind of taking that, but now I have to add like warmth. She has more personality. She has more life to her because she's even like she's the basis of all Raiden Shogun, right?
Just add human.
Just that human, exactly. So yeah, and I think for Shogun, for the puppet, I kind of did kind of a very, very relaxed, like mid-Atlantic accent, because that felt regal without being like British. And then with A, like I softened that even more, so she's a little bit more conversational. She feels a bit more casual, especially the way she addresses the traveler. And just with A, she's naive. She has a lot of naivety to her because she's been Shogun for like 500 years. So there's like all of that going on in her too. So I like having all of those descriptive words in my head as I was reading the lines for each of the different characters.
So yeah, so that's how it is. But works great. Got the crowd worked up. But right now, let's head over to Ratana. Here's one more. Before we get to the Genshin one, this one's for me. I play Smite. So Ratana, you voice Chibi Ino Amaterasu.
So cute!
She's so cute.
Oh.
How do you choose the voice of Chibi here?
Oh my gosh, I think for this one, it was like playful and cute, and like the description was sort of almost like a little boy.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah, and so I just kind of went for it. So I just thought of like at the time I was nannying for this little kid who was about 3 or 4 at the time.
So that was the inspiration.
So,
this whole kid.
yeah, so it's like, this kid that I saw like all the time, and I'm just like, okay, like what is he? And he's pure and he's innocent and he has a little mischief because all little boys have a little mischief.
Yeah.
And then that's what came out.
This is what came out.
Yeah.
So why don't you give us like one voice line?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember.
Same, I haven't played this guy yet, but I love Smite. So instead, let's proceed to another game that I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar. Again, it's a game called Genshin Impact.
I'm sorry.
I've never heard of that before.
Oh, but before that, I want to discuss this one. Leonie from Fire Emblem. How the journey of Leonie as a Fire Emblem character? How did you choose the voice?
Leonie, so like anything else, it was an audition.
Yeah.
And I was invited to audition for several of the classmates.
Yeah.
And so I came in and I auditioned for a few roles, and there's a little bit of description. I don't think we had images at the time. And the description for Leonie was that she was pretty self-possessed.
Self-possessed.
Like even at 16 or 17 when you first meet them, she kind of knew who she was in the world and what she wanted. And so even in the time skip, she's just more of who she is. Whereas like a lot of the other classmates in Three Houses, they have a bigger journey to go on, and for her it was just like, oh no, I'm a mercenary. I'm gonna do this thing.
She's a bit sassy.
She's a bit sassy. She's a little bit of a tomboy, and she just knows who she is.
Knowing who she is. So it's really a matter of choosing the voice. But right now, one more sassy character that I find one from Genshin Impact is one named Yae Miko. Is that right? Can we roll the clip, Brian? Can we roll the clip?
I then found myself reborn as Gucci Yae, leading shrine maidens in sacred matters, sipping tea and kneeling in solemn meditation, and making appearances to listen to shrine visitors.
Enough. Oh, this won't do. We're making a light novel here, not a dry documentary. Huh? And honestly, do you really think I need such a boring assistance?
No, not at all, Lady Gucci.
That's chief editor to you.
Yes, Chief Editor.
A light novel begins with pure imagination. For example,
I must say, this is quite the cunning trap.
but have I walked into your trap, or have you walked into mine? A thing to behold.
I admit defeat. Just do it. Exercise me.
Exorcise you? But I thought you weren't ready to return to the cycle. So first, let me show you what a cruel world this can be.
I hear this voices of Yae Miko. She goes, the laughs. Can you do that for us? Just a sample of this.
Oh my god.
It's so sassy, but it's so sweet. How'd you get into that emotion?
So, the audition for Miko, the way I read her,
Yeah.
felt a little bit like Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl.
Oh.
And a little bit, but also like a little bit more mischievous, like Blair Waldorf grown up and a puppet master. And so we just kept playing with that. And so she is a woman who plays with her food.
Oh.
She plays with her food. She knows
Yeah.
several steps ahead what's gonna happen because she's been around.
Yeah.
You know, and her best friend is A. So, you know, she's seen some things.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of how we got there, and then we just kind of directed. We, you know, the directors and the writers, they had sort of some thoughts about, you know, here are some voice prints that we like, and then we just workshopped until we found. Hello, little one.
Can you do a scenario where, Genshin voice lines, of course, that you guys are talking?
I don't know that we
Have
haven't.
you had a conversation in game yet?
Do we have a proper dialogue in game?
Yeah, it's when we're in the Plane of Euthymia at the end of the Archon quest, but I don't know it.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
so
either.
sorry.
Wait, you guys,
There are so many lines.
there are a lot of
A
lines.
lot of lines, and it's hard for them to memorize them, but for sure, we're gonna get to that. But anyway, how about now to keep things fresh? Let's ask questions from the community.
Oh, we love it.
I think that would be
Yes.
great. So just raise your hand there. Yes, you in the violet shirt. Very enthusiastic. Hi, what's your name?
My name's Arwen. I also got a signature from Anne herself. Hi. Hi.
Hi, okay, your question.
My question is,
too, but I think my favorite one is pure grit.
I just want to keep them here on the stage and make them say random lines every now. And that would be great, but hey. So, is there anything else? You have more questions?
Yeah, for Anne. Yes. How was your time part of the Fire Emblem family since recently you've been casted as young Mia?
Yes, I got cast as young Mia in Fire Emblem Heroes.
And we love her.
So it's my honor to be part of such a long and storied franchise. And she's so fun and spunky. And it was my honor to, kind of carry the torch for Felice Sampler.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like it.
I was so excited when they announced you. I was like, oh my god, sister, hi!
Well, you guys have been friends for the longest time, right?
We only
We
met.
only just met through Genshin.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
We didn't know each other until December?
Yeah.
December last year?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
This past
Oh my god, I
December.
thought you guys were like friends forever.
No, I mean it's like we've been friends forever.
I feel like I've known you for forever.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so alright, thank you so much. Listen, another question. Raise your hand. Yes, sir. The one in the jacket. No, you. With the camera. You, sir. Yeah, they're over there. Yeah. Use the microphone. And what's your name first?
I'm Nathan.
Nathan. Hey.
I have a question for Anne.
Yeah.
During the third art conquest of A, you got like 3 personas, Makoto's,
And the second story quest?
yeah, and Raiden.
Yeah.
Can I ask you how you managed to separate the personalities of the two?
Right, so we talked earlier about how I delineate the puppet versus A, right? So if you think about them like on a spectrum, right? You've got Shogun, she's cold, she's detached. A is warmer, she's like getting closer. And then Makoto, she's the warmest. She's the most motherly. She's kind of like the most knowledgeable of the world and the ways. Like she's the wisest of the 3, right? So I kind of like leave them like here. And so like that's kind of like my touch points for the 3 different versions of Raiden Shogun.
I love it. She just turns up the dial.
Yeah, turns up the heat.
Yeah.
Girl, lady, is that all?
She's pure fire.
Last one.
Oh, sure.
Can you say the voice line in the trailer of when they introduced the boss, the Raiden boss, which is I think it starts with
The final calamity!
Thank you, David. Alright, another question. Let's look on the side. Hey man, you over here with a polo. Come over here. There, use the microphone there in front. Bilis, takbo! Wala tayong oras.
Run!
You can do it!
Oh my god. I'm fanboying. Sorry. Alright, here we go. What's your name?
I'm Kuro.
Hey, Kuro.
I love voice acting. The craft is just so good. I have a question for the both of you. I'll make it quick. Was there ever a time where you got recognized for your voice, like somewhere? Oh, that's Yae Miko. Oh, that's Raiden. Was there ever a time like that, or?
Outside of a convention?
Oh my god. Okay, that's my question.
Oh,
It's
hey,
easy for us to go incognito.
Yeah.
We smash with masks, you know?
Right?
Oh, is it great? Like, you know that you are the voice of those characters, but then you could go into like places in
There's so much power in that, like not being recognized by people.
Oh yeah, like I go to the grocery store and like I usually wear like a sling bag and I have like pins all over it and I have this really big like fun Jujutsu Kaisen one and like I was like checking out at Trader Joe's and I was like, oh, you watch Jujutsu Kaisen? And I was like, yeah, I love Jujutsu Kaisen. Great show, yeah.
Only he knew.
And I was like, do I say so? I was like, nah, it's not worth it right now.
It would be great if you're like, nah, I don't watch that. I mean, here's all that.
What's Jujutsu Kaisen?
Alright, so,
I know you got asked this question, Kanina, but could you do the boss one more time just for me, please? Just one more time for the folks who didn't get it on video. We just want to see it one last
Oh my
time.
god, we charge for photos here. I'm kidding.
Folks, you're welcome.
Witness the final calamity! You're welcome.
alright, that's the last request for today, you guys. Joking. Alright, one more question. Raise your hand. Let's see. Is there like a kid there. I want to give that kid an experience. All right. Is that? Where? Oh, there. Hey, man. You're the small man. Here. Come here on stage. Come here on stage. All right. You be the host. What's your name? All right. Okay. Yae Miko, Raiden Shogun, they're in front of you, dude. Go ahead, Julie. Hey, Christian, go ahead, ask your question.
How much do you make in a day?
How much do they make in a day?
For legal
Magkano kinikita nila?
just put it, it's,
Asking the real question.
Well, we are spilling the tea here.
I thought we got a kid, we got the accountant over here.
Hey, future CPA, huh?
Right? So I'm gonna hire you to be my business manager.
I'll negotiate all my deals.
That's right.
Are you okay
I'll
with
get
that?
you a good commission.
Is it all right, so,
You're hired.
okay, you
Giga
sit
check
here
yung
at the end of the segment. Let's have another question.
Ito!
You with the pointy ears. You here. What's your name? Come here. Yeah, use the microphone. What's your name?
My name is Andy.
Oh, Auntie, go ahead. Ask your question.
My question is, during the shoot of Genshin Impact, was there ever a line, not specifically, but a situation there that a line that impacted you emotionally, or you got emotionally attached to, like reading it and you're just emotional or something like that?
So like all of the second story quest, like the whole thing was like emotional damage.
Random.
Honestly, like I think one of my favorite things was when Miko finally got to talk to A. Because like she kind of keeps her emotions close to her chest. And so I think that was like just the warmest and most like
The veil.
yeah, the veil lifted and you got to see the real Miko there.
Alright, so there you go. Alright, so let's take one last question from the crowd. Whoever can shout, I don't know, something. Be the loudest one. I know, Kenshin cosplayers. Let's support Kenshin cosplayers. Yeah, boy. Is that Yae Miko?
That's a Yae Miko.
Come here on stage. Don't stay there. Come here. Show me your teeth.
My goodness. That's some good. That's some good.
There, go to your place. Go to your... Alright, come here. Hey, come here. What's your name? Mary.
Yeah.
Okay, your question.
Can I ask a question in reverse?
Depends. Ask it, I may do it.
Question. Will huh? Will Genshin Impact give a free 5-star character?
I cannot promise anything. You don't even give it to me, huh?
Can I request?
Your lips to MiHoYo's ears.
Yeah, right? Manifest.
Dasal-dasal kami.
Can you say a line which as a character of you, both characters say a line. Can you say you will be laid upon this statue?
Okay, I can say,
Ann can say that, Ratana can't.
Can Yae also say it?
I'm sorry I cannot, but I can say, right here, right now.
that's my favorite Yae Miko.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine. You will be inlaid upon this statue.
Thank you so much, Yae Miko, for personification. Right, thank you so much. Little boy, thank you. Alright, so, Ann, Ratana, you talk to your fans, and where can we see you here in Conquest for the last day that we have your day number 2? Where can they see you here?
Well, okay, so right after this, we're gonna have a little lunch, and then at 1 o'clock, we'll be back at our booths over there by the wall. We've got prints, we've got some stickers, I think, still.
We might, yes.
Some stickers and some enamel pins, if you're lucky. And then at 3
to 4:30, we have a meet and greet. I think it's room 7 and 8.
it'll be over that way.
Over that way somewhere.
And then we're gonna be back here, I think, for the cosplay.
Yes.
Yes, cosplay contest.
Yes.
I think that's at 5, and then whenever that's over, we might grab a little snacky snack, and then we're gonna close out over there.
Yes.
More signings, yeah.
All right.
Come see us.
Come say hello.
Exactly, support my lion. They're gonna be there. So, where can we follow you in your socials so we get updated with all the things that you do? And let's start with you.
Hang on. Let me.
Okay. Let's get the
You already follow me.
copies out there.
Okay. All right. I'm
So
ready.
you can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Twitch at Yatco.
Oh, Twitch, you're streaming as
I
well.
also stream
Oh,
and
there we go.
shit.
And she's awesome at it, y'all.
I'm a Raiden main.
Of course.
6'6", baby.
Where do we see you on your socials?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram at Voice of Ratana, and sometimes stalking her Twitch channel.
Sometimes she comes on my streams, y'all.
All right, man, we're great. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to